Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, the show designed to help everyone from the solopreneur to the Fortune 500 company win the referral game. If you want to build a company with an army of ambassadors and raving fans who speak highly of you and refer you willingly, you are in the right place. And now, here is your host, Michael J. Maher.
Welcome, everyone, to another amazing episode of Referrals Podcast. Yes, I know this is going to be amazing, and the road to 1 million downloads is well on its way over 500,000 downloads on the way to 1 million. And first and foremost, I've got to thank you, the listeners, the viewers, for doing that, for downloading, for listening. You're the reason we're here. Without listeners, without viewers, why would we even do this? I wouldn't even do it. I wouldn't spend the time. But you, the listener, the viewer, thank you. You have made this time so worthy and so valuable. I just have to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you. I appreciate you. I really do. And speaking of things that we love and appreciate, we have a couple of phenomenal guests on, and they have discovered connectivity and the power of the new ABC. The old ABC during the ego era, that was basically the 60s, 70s, 80s, all the way up to maybe even 2010. And the ABC was A, always B, B, C, closing, always be closing. And we were in the ego era. And the whole thought of the consumer was find me, sell me. Literally, hunt me down, do your pitch, and try to convince me to buy your product or service. And about 1996 to 2000, the consumer changed. They started to change because of trust issues. Trust is the currency of today's business. The trust changed because all of a sudden, everybody started advertising that we're number one, like we're the best, we're the biggest. We've got this award, which they paid to get. They like all of a sudden there was this distrust of the words number one, and it was kind of even a joke in Kansas City that, like, my brother always kidded me that there were 6,580 number one agents in Kansas City, and it was so true, and it actually lit a light bulb to me that became our slogan. We're not number one, you are. And our slogan was, we're not number one, you are. And a lot of people latched onto that and they loved it. And it also gave us our true customer service focus that honestly made history, made it amazing. So there's a new ABC in town, everybody. It's the generosity generation. Welcome to the generosity generation. Even if you don't believe it, it's true. It's here. It's the wave is already come through, and it's the generosity generation. The new ABC is always be connecting. Always be connecting to yourself. Always be connecting in a one-to-one situation, and always be connecting the people in your social circles to each other. What's weird is that you know all these great people, they don't know each other. So we have a great opportunity to always be connecting them when we do events. And the new consumer has a new mantra. It's no longer find me, sell me. It's hear me, help me, truly hear me, listen to me, ask me questions. Don't talk to me, don't tell me, don't sell me. Like, literally hear me, listen to me, ask me great questions, and then help me. And even if you aren't the person to help me, refer me to the person that can help me. And all of a sudden, connectivity has become this major weapon in relationship building and referral generating. And it's a great thing. It's a beautiful thing. But we have a problem, ladies and gentlemen. We have a problem, is that we have these social circles like church or PTA or Bobby's baseball team moms, or work, or past work, or Navy, our Navy people, right? And we have these social circles that are all over. But the thing is as a realtor, we can't run in there and go, hey, everyone, you should totally use me for all your real estate needs. We can't market to those groups. We can't yell in the center of that group about our real estate business. We have this conundrum. I just wanted to throw that word in. We have this conundrum about how do we get business from our social circles. Could you imagine a realtor standing up in church going, hey, I just wanted to tell you about this client I just helped this weekend, right? Praise the Lord. I had a client, right? And it's like, yeah, actually I can actually see that. I can actually visualize it because I see it on freaking Facebook every day, which is essentially the same thing, right? So it's one of those like, how do we get referrals from all these different social circles? And ladies and gentlemen, our guests today have figured that out because of Event Mastery class they just recently finished. And speaking of Event Mastery class, you can now get into Referral Mastery Academy at the lowest price ever. Just go to referralmasteryacademy.com. We have classes, time mastery, networking mastery, and event mastery, all coming up in the next couple of months. You should get in. You should make it happen. And then I have to give a shout out to my buddy Rob Howard in Knoxville, Tennessee. He said, oh my gosh, I was a member of RMA, then I went to Vault, and then I listened to the podcast. You're doing it all, Michael. I've never had an experience with a community as awesome as what you've created with the Generosity Generation. I just wanted to thank you for keeping it fresh. Rob Howard, I appreciate you. I love you. Thanks for the kind words. And by the way, Rob Howard also has written a terrific book that you need to go check out, Principles of Real Estate and Murder. That's the title. That'll catch your ear, won't it? And he's also writing another book that's soon to launch. So make sure you check out Rob Howard. Speaking of people we have to check out, let's check out our guest today on the Referrals podcast. Lisa Velez is a Tampa Bay real estate agent and proud realtor who brings the experience of over 30 years of living and working in the Tampa area to her clients. A U.S. Navy veteran. Thank you for your service, Lisa. Lisa leads her business with discipline, of course, integrity, and a strong commitment to serving others. She's passionate about helping her clients navigate the real estate journey with confidence while building lasting relationships along the way. Lisa Velez, welcome to Referrals Podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It is great to have you. It is also great to have our next guest here. Jesse Kern is a dedicated real estate professional serving clients across the Des Moines, Iowa metro area. With a background rooted in hard work and strong values, Jesse takes pride in building lasting relationships and guiding his clients with honesty and care. He's passionate about helping people achieve their real estate goals while also staying deeply connected to his community. Without further ado, let's bring Jesse Kern, our realtor from Des Moines, Iowa, on.
Thank you, Michael. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, I'm going to cut to the chase. I'm going to go right to leading up to, like, you took Event Mastery VIP. And Jesse, this is your second time through Event Mastery. Is that correct?
Correct. I took regular version in the fall and VIP.
Love it. And what I'd like you to share during like this and so on and so forth is like, what was the difference for you between the two? Like what was the biggest difference to you between Event Mastery Full Edition, or what we call the All Yap Edition, and the Event Mastery VIP Edition?
So the VIP was a smaller audience, and I like following systems, so I followed your system. The All Yap with the Pi event last fall, for me, since that was the first event to run with this system, a lot of it was the structure of not just a promotion, but at the event with a registration table, golden tickets telling them where to go, and then door prizes. So follow the same system with the VIP. It was a more intimate setting, and even more connectivity came through with the VIP edition just because it was more intimate and smaller.
Now, isn't that interesting? We had a bigger event, more people involved. We had the Pi Day, that was that all yap with a cat type of atmosphere. and more people, more everything, right? And yet, with our Event Mastery VIP edition, it was a more intimate set. There was even more connectivity in the smaller event. So that's an interesting kind of dichotomy that most people maybe wouldn't catch or kind of get on, is we actually had more connectivity with the smaller event. I love that. All right. And Lisa took her very first class with us, Event Mastery class, VIP edition. I can only imagine how that was drinking out of a fire hose. But I think the big thing on that is that, like, how are you coming in? Like, were you open-minded on, and I am freaking doing this, or did you tiptoe in like a lot of people, or like what were your fears or doubts coming in, and how did you approach it?
I was committed walking into this. I definitely was planning on drinking the Kool-Aid, and I wanted to get through this, and I wanted to put my business out there, especially in my sphere. I wanted to introduce people in my circle that this is what I've chosen to do in my for my business, and I wanted to let everybody know about it. So that's kind of how I did it. I did not. You said drinking water from a water hose. I was very selective about the people that I invited for this first event, which will be the beginning of what I'm sure will be at least 4 a year.
Yeah, I love that. All right. So, Lisa, let's go right to the planning. We'll go chronological with the classes and what we learned and our ahas through this. And so, when you were in the planning stage of your event and you were going through planning mastery, what were like some key decisions or your biggest aha about the planning mastery phase?
So the biggest aha was what helped for me was in you had selected dates for us to shoot for to have our event. So it was, the February the week leading up into Valentine's Day. I love people. I love having a good time. So it's like it was the Galentine's Day, and my
Perfect.
friends, I like to enjoy a cocktail or three, and so I wanted to give them a reason to come together. Not only did I bring friends from outside of my church, but also within my church. So that was always fun. But yeah, so it would be just kind of getting everybody together and selecting the date and then the venue and the whole bit from there.
Yeah. So let's talk about that just a little bit on the. So did you do Galentine's on the 13th or did you do it on a different day?
So my son's 30th birthday was on the 13th. I decided to not mess around with that, right?
Yep.
Because that would be kind of, so I did it on Thursday, February 12th.
Yeah. I have to, like, here's the thing that just proves is, I mean, she did a Galentine's event on not Galentine's Day. Everybody like internalize that and just love on that. Is that, like, we don't have to do the event on the exact day. If we're going to do a Cinco de Mayo event, we don't have to do it on Cinco de Mayo. We can actually do it on the Saturday before. We can do it on the Friday before, and it's okay. It's really, people are like, it's a reason to celebrate. And then did you get anything from talking to your people and surveying them about like venue or time or day or anything? Did anybody give you the advice that you took to do your event?
I um I had a lot of feedback. When I'm reaching out to people, where do you think would be a great place to go? Now, I live in Tampa, in the Tampa Bay area, but I'm kind of between two counties. And so half of my friends in Pinellas County were like, well, it would be more convenient for here. And the other half were more convenient to Hillsborough. Because I was doing it on a Thursday and I was doing it between 6 and 8, I was very cognizant of people and their work schedules. So I kind of came up with something that was local to the Hillsborough County residents, but still understanding that people were coming in from Pinellas and it was a little bit of a drive for them. But, honestly, everybody was really excited about it and they were all down to come and it worked out. A few late people, but that's okay. I understood what was going to happen. And that's just the nature of the business.
It really is. With people, a lot of times they show up sporadically and then they all show up at the same time. It's like
Yeah.
having a leak in your ceiling, right? It's like a
Mhm.
little drip, drip, and it's like whoosh. So it's kind of like that. So, except better. I think it would be better than having a leak in your ceiling.
I
So,
would say so.
yeah. So, Jesse, planning mastery and the whole thought of planning, you saw two different approaches between the the all yap and the full version, and the event mastery, micro event mastery, the VIP edition. And so talk to me about your biggest ahas through those sequences.
So with the all yap, of course, it was pre-decided what the event was, Pi Day, Santa photos. Phone a friend, the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire system you teach. So I use that with like my top 15. I've been selling real estate 12 years. So I have my VIPs are about 150, 200 people. And so I called one of my gals and she was like, I'll be a sponsor. We'll get into that, probably the sponsor part. And it was pretty much 50-50. I gave them the option, do you want a dessert related event or coffee? And it was pretty much 50-50 down the road. One of my clients listed with me right now, he's the regional manager for all the Perkins. So it was like dessert is going to be the easy peasy. So I just did the dessert event. And then my next all yap is going to be on my birthday that ends in a zero. So that's going to be the Thanks a Latte coffee event.
Yeah, I love it. So you ended up doing like a dessert event. Tell me what you did, what day, and what time.
Yep. So I did February 12th. I called it Downtime Desserts. You know, you're always doing alliterations. You've taught me that. Um,
Well, my name's
so
Michael Maher, so I had to latch onto something in life. So
yes. So I called up my client. Hey, can I do this on this day at this time? He was like, sure, whatever. Bring the people in. We love it. I had half the restaurant to use, and I used to work there like 12 years ago, actually, too. So it's kind of a cool story. And most of my people said 5 to 7. I like that time frame better anyway. So I, I asked those questions. I had buy-in. A lot of the people who were my top 15 to 30 came. And we had more. I didn't know what to expect for my first VIP really to do. And we had 27 people there. And one of the coolest things was two families. One has a 7 month old, the other has a 17-month old. They stayed and had dinner together that night, just meeting themselves, meeting each other the first time. And I hung out with them too after the event.
that's connectivity. That's what we're looking for. And you kind of have already transitioned into the invitation mastery part of this by what you just said. Just by doing the surveying and calling and asking your top people their opinion, getting their advice, it literally was a pseudo or stealth invitation. They were ready to go. They literally were thinking the event was going to happen and were so easy to probably get a yes from because you did the survey part as part of the planning mastery. So the
Absolutely.
invitation. So how did you do invitations, Jesse?
So they were direct. It was through phone calls, email, and text. I did not do a mailer like I do for the all yaps
Right.
because it was smaller. So and there was no Google form for the invitations. It was all just direct communication with emails and mainly text and voice to voice.
Yeah, it kind of kept you in the influential zone,
Yes.
right? So instead of doing like direct mail or the big handwritten notes or any type of invitation through mail or any of that, we really stayed with phone calls, text messages, one-to-one invites, and really stayed in the influential zone with our people the majority of the time.
Yes.
Text message became our best friend, right?
Yeah.
Versus sometimes we get lost in the invitation and the whole internet Eventbrite world. And it's like, all right, we're going to put that over here and just focus on the influential zone and our people that are most influential in our life. Let's just work that way. So love
Yeah.
that. All right. So Lisa, talk to us about your invitation mastery and the invitation process for you and how that went with your people that you were looking to connect.
So primarily phone calls. And if I couldn't get through them, I mean, they really do call me back. These are my people, right? So if I didn't get to them right then and there, they were calling me back. Texting for a couple of them that I was kind of like, well, I know their time is busy, but it was primarily phone calls. My confirmation with them to make sure that they came through was, of course, the text the day of, but I did Google invites on the calendar. So of course I have their email addresses. So I would just kind of like, hey, don't forget Valentine's Day is coming up. And I had a copy of the flyer as I was going along with it, as before I got my sponsors, so even before I had the location pared down, like I was just building it as it came and sending it out as I was going, so that's kind of how that went.
So I believe that's one of the best things I've ever discovered is imperfectly perfect. or purposefully imperfect. The cool thing about sending an imperfect invitation is that you've got to perfect it over time. And the recipients want you. They actually are like, literally, please update us on the event throughout the process. So we are doing something that is good anyway, but it's also increasing our communication and also showing our professionalism. It just literally, people are going to think in their head, if they can run an event like this and they communicate like this, like how great is the real estate process going to be? And it does carry over quite a bit. So I love that you brought up the whole point about sending an imperfect invitation. And I hope that all of our clients that do event mastery like embrace that. Send an imperfect invitation. Send
Mhm.
something that's missing something. Missing, could be missing the location, could be TBD, could be missing sponsors. It dang well should be missing sponsors when you're early because you're just making it based on you, right? And
Mhm.
then, you've got to add charity information, you've got to add sponsor information, you got to add location or time or whatever it may be. You've got reasons to communicate, and they aren't just touches. They are permission-based touches that show professionalism. It doesn't get any better. Like not all touches are equal, right? So I think that's a great discernment on that. So all right, so let's talk about sponsors. A lot of people get nervous when we talk about sponsors, talk about getting money and that kind of thing. But here's the thing: is like we're entrepreneurs, like we are business owners. So we need to think about money. We need to be earning money. And quite honestly, it's not sponsors, it's really partners. And they're partnering in an investment that's going to generate leads for both of us. So it just makes sense that they would want to partner. So, Lisa, I'll start with you. Like, how did you approach the sponsorship piece of this and the sponsor sequence and so on and so forth?
Again, I went to a networking event that was hosted by my brokerage, and I was there with one of our lenders, and I just asked him, and before I could even finish any details, he's like, "Oh, hey, Brian, would you help me sponsor this event?" Yes. Okay. So that was one of my sponsors. The other one, actually, I met her at an open house. She came through knocking. She was a local title agent,
Wait,
and
wait, 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 wait. Your second sponsor came how?
through an open house. Like I met her. I met her at an open house, so she just came to introduce herself to me because again, she's trying to get her business active as well
I
and
love it.
knocked on the door and we chit chatted for a little bit and I was like, I want to host my first event and I'm looking for sponsors. Would you be interested? And she absolutely came through. Now, fun fact, I had scheduled it for the 12th. My event was from 6 to 8. She had to leave my event a little bit early because another person taking your class also had an event scheduled that same day and also a newer agent. And she, didn't realize they were both the same day or whatever. So she left a little bit early to go finish off the day there with them. But yeah, it was crazy. And I knew about it beforehand for the record. Like she told me it was a
Yeah.
scheduling mishap on her part. But
Yeah, we're going to get sponsors. I mean,
Mhm.
especially as this event evolution and this referral revolution is happening. Like right now, events are like the generosity generation. In 2010, 2012, I was writing about and preaching about the generosity generation. It was like it's coming, right? It's coming. You're and in about 2015, same thing with events. Nobody talked about events in real estate. Nobody. MREA did not talk about events. Nothing. There is nothing in the book about events. And like in 2015, I was just like, listen, you better be the first to do an event or in your neighborhood, or somebody else is going to dominate your neighborhood. You've got to be first to implement this event thing. Well, look at KWFR, right? Just got back to Frame Reunion. It was AI, Gary V events. Literally, that was the entire conference. And now people are talking about like, well, yeah, I do 3 community events a year. That was not the norm. That's never been the norm. So it's one of those where, all right, we're on this wave and we're catching on to it. So there are going to be sponsors that
Mhm.
we partner with that probably partner with other people to do events. The reason they are partnering with us on our event is because they believe in events. So it would make sense. I mean, they've also sponsored all their realtor association events. They also sponsor all the cocktail receptions, and they sponsor lunch and learns, and they sponsor a lot of things. So we can't take offense if they're gonna sponsor multiple other events. It's bottom line is we just make best use of the opportunity when they sponsor our event. So
Absolutely.
love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Jesse, how about you? Talk to me about sponsor mastery and what were your biggest ahas through the sponsor part?
So as I already mentioned, when I was calling through my top 15, one of them, longtime friend, I'm Uncle Jesse to the family. One of her daughters is closing on a house with me next week, actually. When I called Alicia, she was like, well, I'll sponsor. And she's helped me at past events, like when I've done movies and stuff. And I hadn't even thought, well, yeah, she owns a daycare. Why wouldn't she, you know? So she's like, I just want to support you. It's like, okay, great. When I ran the dessert versus coffee idea past her, she sent me like coffee shops she loves on the west side of the metro. And um, so that was one from the beginning. Then one day, I think it was a Wednesday, like right after one of the event mastery sessions on a Tuesday, I was going to the chiropractor. I was like, any sponsors? Like, oh, I'll just ask my chiropractor. He was like, yeah, sure. And he donated a massage from one of his massage therapists for a door prize. Um, and with going back to my daycare friend, she didn't really have a business logo. So part of the process, my virtual assistant, she does a lot of stuff for me like that. She designed a logo for my friend. Of course, Perkins restaurants, they were providing the space, so they were a sponsor. Put that, and my imperfect invitation evolved over time as I added the sponsors.
Of
One of my
course.
lender friends and the lady that makes personalized gifts for my clients at closings, she was like, "Yeah, I'll sponsor." She came and helped, and she ran the registration table this year too, actually, on this event, not this year, but yeah, this event.
I love it. Well, people are going to ask me. So, Jesse, how much did you end up paying for your event out of your own pocket?
Yeah. So when, I did the event planning, I was like somewhere between 3 and 500 was my budget. Spent 350 on the food. Um, and so I probably spent about 100 $150 myself. A couple sponsors were like, well, I can do a door prize, but I can't provide other support. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm still growing that system. So I probably spent about $100 because yeah,
Yeah, and you entertained how many people?
27 of us were there.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's a pretty it's five less than $5. That's like
Well,
less than $4 a person.
and I bought the TV for the door prize too, so I guess that I spent about $200.
Okay. All right. I love it. How about you, Lisa? How about you? Where'd you end up on your event?
Out of pocket for me, it was $235 out of pocket for me. And partly because of the event went past 8 o'clock. We just kind of kept having a good time,
You just kept
That was,
buying, Lisa. You just
yeah,
kept
I
buying.
did. I
Yeah.
did. But I mean, at this point, mostly it was just a core group of people that were there. But yeah, 235 is what I was out of pocket for me.
What would
Um,
have been if you didn't have sponsor support?
it would
What
have
would
been
the
over
total cost
500.
been? Would have
It
been
would have
what?
been over 500, over five. It was 560, 575.
Okay. Right.
75.
Real good. So you basically paid for a third of it, right?
Mhm.
And how many people did you end up entertaining?
Um, Invited RSVP was 16. It was smaller. Again, I wanted to kind of keep it smaller.
Yeah.
With my help, and when I say my help, I had a couple of other newer agents that wanted to kind of learn from what I was doing. And my mom, of course, because my mom
Mhm.
is always there, came out to 20, so, but there was 20 of us total,
Yeah.
including
I
my
love that.
sponsors.
Love that. All right. So entertain 20 people for $235, right? That's
Not a bad deal.
pretty solid. Yeah. All right. So charity. Let's Lisa, let's jump into the charity mastery and the charity aspect of it. And, you know, did you end up having a charity element to your event?
My goal was to have a charity element. Okay, I'm a real big animal lover. I love dogs, and I'm also a diver, and I have a lot of like conservation themed things that I personally donate to. I reached out to a couple of them, and they did not get back to me in time.
Mhm.
The saddest part is like there was a rescue that I actually got my dog from, and I sent out an email to them and called them, and I would have loved to have really partnered with them, but unfortunately they did not get back to me in time. So I did not do a charity for this event, but I'm already lining things up for the future.
Yeah, perfect. And listen, the event mastery VIP, it's a micro event. It's a little bit smaller. We can't expect miracles for the charity in a lot of cases, just because we're going to have a lot less people, smaller venues, that kind of thing. So it's all good. But with the all yap with a cap, like there's some real opportunities there. We have a little bit more time to prepare them and that kind of thing. So Jesse, how about you? Did you have a charity element to this, and how was this one different than your one that you did in the fall?
So in the fall, I did Toys for Tots. I know that's one of your favorites because it's
It
Christmas
is.
time. I did that giveaway the Monday before Thanksgiving, had a Santa Claus, professional Santa Claus there, and did photos along with that. So that was like a holiday, Christmas, Thanksgiving themed. This one, it was really, well, back at Mega Camp, when I saw you on stage, there was another panel about food banks and peanut butter and jelly. And when I was door knocking around an open house, I met the warehouse distributor for the food bank here in town. And so I was like, well, I'm doing a dessert event. We'll just make the donations food related. So I asked everyone to bring a non-perishable item. So it went to the food bank here in town.
Very cool. So how did you set that up with the food bank? And did you just have like a table for it when people came in, or a round basket, or
Sure.
how did you collect them? And then what was
If I
their
had,
reaction?
right. Well, they were, I mean, very receptive. I mean, I used to work in the nonprofit industry. They're not going to say no to help.
Mhm.
So if I had been a
Well, it
little,
sounds like maybe they do. Lisa had made
uh,
like several requests to a lot of different places, and they never got back to her, right? It's like it
Makes no
is
sense.
different out there. It is different. That's
Yeah.
why I like Toys for Tots, to be honest with you. They're so huge, and that they're so receptive. And also, like 20% of their gifts are stolen out of a warehouse every year, so they always need some type of help. But
yeah,
all right, so they were super receptive, and you ended up collecting them at a
yes.
table.
I
And
just I just called and said, "Hey, I'm doing this." If I had called sooner, I could have gone and gotten a bin with their logo on it. And then I just delivered the food later, filmed it, put it, in my private Facebook group for my VIPs when I did the delivery. So they knew that I followed through and did what I said I was going to do.
yeah, love it. Love it. All right. So confirmation, this is a piece and a sequence that like a lot of people forget. In fact, when I was first doing my housewarming parties, I never confirmed, and I'd have 40 people that were invited, and like 20 of them would show up. And then we started doing confirmation 24 hours before, 1 hour before, and all of a sudden we were getting 100% attendance. We literally doubled our attendance, and it just made it for a better event. More people came, and people forget, they get busy. So, Jesse, talk to me about your confirmation sequence piece, and what did you do to confirm, and do you think it had any effect?
Yes, definitely had effect. For the VIP, it was basically like 48 hours ahead of time text or email. And then my virtual assistant, she sent the text out like an hour before. For the All Yap event, I think we may have done Friday and then Sunday and Monday, since it was a Monday event for that.
Yeah,
And yeah, I know I get your confirmations for event mastering stuff and it works. It's like, oh yeah, that's happening. Yes, let's get on.
yeah, we're confirmation happy here at Referco. I can't even imagine if you're signed up for multiple classes with us. It's just like, we're sending like all kinds of. I mean, we even send. Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah,
but guess what? People show up, right?
definitely.
So it has an effect, and it helps. And it sounds like you did texting as your confirmation
Yes.
way to go. And then another thing that like with Pi Day that's different is from you know imagine, look at Pi Day. Look at the evolution of Pi Day. When I was there was like two agents doing Pi Days, maybe three. Me, Linda, and Leslie, like three people. And then it's like now it's. I mean, Costco has a special department just to serve realtors pies on Pi Day. Now, if I had anything to do with it, I'll take it. But I have to tell you, I've had problems with clients who have had problems with their local Costco. I call my contact at the national headquarters, and guess what? That problem goes away, Jesse. That problem goes
Awesome.
away. It's a nice thing to have. But the thing about it is now we've got to place our orders early. And so that confirmation piece, now we have three confirmations. We have the Pi Day order, like, hey, listen, I've got a pie for you. I need to make sure you're showing up. and then you got your 24 and your 1 hour to make it happen. So it is a little different with dessert and Perkins and a little more casual setting, like a wine event like Galentine's or with a dessert day, that kind of thing. But the confirmation piece is just so important. Lisa, what did you see with confirmation mastery, and what did you do during the confirmation stage and sequence to make sure people showed up?
So I don't feel like I sent out a specific, like I didn't set aside a certain time to do confirmation only because I was keeping everybody up to date as things was going along. But the night before and the day of, hey, see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock, and everybody, I had, ironically enough, I had two that weren't able to make it. However, two others just plus one with the people that were coming. So it worked out to the number that I had set out uh, specifically. So it worked out the way it worked out.
Yeah, I love it. Right. So the bring a friend strategy implemented, right? And that's one of the great confirmation strategies. But you also bring up a great power of the entire system of event mastery is the imperfect invitation. Well, even if they say yes, we're sending them the invitation as we perfect it, as we edit it. So these updates become confirmations. They really
Exactly.
do. And that's where I believe my system is different than anything I've ever seen. Most event stuff is all about attendance. Like market this, promote this, like do this to get more attendees. But what we really want is we want the people that are supposed to come. And here's why. The Pi Day is a great example. If you don't do the confirmation and only half, let's say you ordered 100 pies and 50 show up, what do you do with the extra 50 pies? Now they're either at loss, or you find a TLC, temporary lodge for children, or you find another charity to give them away. But is that charity going to refer you? They're probably not. You really got the pies to give to people who had referred you or will refer you or both. And so you don't want that loss. We need to make sure that they confirm. So the beauty of the system is that like we are always inviting or confirming. It just depends on what they've done. If they said they're in, then it's confirming. If they haven't replied yet, or they're a maybe, right? It's really inviting. So we're inviting and confirming the whole sequence from the start. And that's the difference because of the updates, right? Confirm an update, confirm an update, confirm an update with the invitation. And they're like, oh, look, they got a charity, right? And it just makes sense. So we don't have to be like, we invited them 7 weeks ago. They said yes, we don't communicate with them. And then 24 hours before, hey, just wanted to remind you about this event, right? Because we're reminding them all the time with the system, right? So I love that. I love that. All right. Dun, dun, dun. It's event day. It's party day. Both of you had it on the 12th, February 12th. Love that. Thursday, February 12th. So, Lisa, when the event finally arrived, what was a moment during the event where you just thought, like, this is really working? So this life-changing event stuff might be for real.
Um, the day of the event, obviously, yes, but I did go to the location the day before because I wanted to see where the space was, and showing up to the location, and I saw where we were going to be. I just knew it was going to, I mean, I loved it. I absolutely loved it, So the day of the event itself, we had our own separate entrance where, like, I mean, you could have gone through the front of the restaurant and checked the hostess, but there was our own little door and a big old sign out there and come on in. And yeah, I think the day when I knew it was working, when everybody got there and was just having a good time. Like there wasn't anybody that was just sitting down and just all glum. People would get together in groups of twos or three to chat, but then they'd get up and walk around and yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot. I mean, it really was a lot of fun that day. So I had little chocolate hearts that I had put stickers on the back of with my information and my logo and the sponsors and hey, here's your little giveaway. And I mean there was a couple of other things too. I had a gift card which was included in my total for the actual venue itself. And also, I had tickets to the aquarium. I volunteer dive for the aquarium as a raffle. I had 2 tickets for people to, I had little tickets. Yeah, it worked out great. It was a good time. Good test.
I hope everyone is watching this on YouTube. I know you listen to it on iTunes or Stitcher or Google Play or Audible. I thank you guys for listening. And maybe you could hear it. But when Lisa was talking about her event, I wish you could have seen her because she lit up, people. Like lit up. She literally, she's kind of casual, and then like, Lisa, tell me about your event. And there's like, I went the day before. It was like a light was jumping out of the inside of her body, and she's smiling, she's having fun. She's like, she was going through how the people were getting up, and her energy was rising, and I hope you guys picked up on that, because like, what lead generation method in the history of the world lights people up like events? Like, let's go do some cold calls, right? Let's go do some door knocking, right? Let's go talk to divorce attorneys. That's fun, right? Let's go probate, baby. Let's go help the mourning people of dead people. Like, come on, right? I mean, that's like I can just see it now. Realtors marketing at funerals. Like, hey, I understand you're getting ready to go through probate. Here is my card, right? It's like the wedding crashers, like the funeral crashers of wedding crashers. And it's like, no, 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 right? What if you had a lead generation method you didn't have to play hard rock metal for to do, right? What if instead the actual lead generation method was what fired you up, what motivated you, what inspired you? And Lisa, you just modeled it perfectly. And I just want to say thank you. And I love how great your event went. Jesse,
Thank you. Me too.
yeah. Jesse, talk to me about your event.
So, I'm a musician by training, studied voice and piano in college, and so I've done a lot of performing. So like event day is kind of that same feeling like, ooh, I'm performing, or there's that butterflies in the stomach anticipation. So I went over on Monday just to confirm the space and see everybody. Perkins, they've done my pies for me the last 3 years for the pie day, so I knew the store manager from, he was the one that made the pies. And then the day of, my helpers and I, we got together like the hour before because I'd gone on the Monday. I knew the space and how I wanted to arrange it and visualize it. And then when the team showed up the hour before, we were just like, do this, that, the other. And one cool thing was one of my volunteers, she's like turning 18 this month. She just kind of took charge and was like, okay, I'm going to do this and we'll do this here and blah, blah, blah. And so she was the one that I did the awesome atomic bomb of awesomeness as part of my follow-up. So,
Nuclear bomb of awesomeness
yeah,
follow up to. We'll talk about that a little bit more during follow up.
yeah.
But I
So,
love you're talking about volunteers. Like that's one of the first things that people learn with us that they had never even thought of before was, oh my gosh, it's not me solo doing everything on this event. You mean I can get help? And it's like, no, not only can you get help, you are getting help because it helps them. I mean, that is one of the biggest things we need. There are people like this 18-year-old who are just like amateur party planners who are just ready to have a role in our world. And they're ready to have a role at the event. That photographer, that videographer, the greeter, the usher, the registration person, the handler in some cases. It's just like, and what if I told everybody listening to this is that if, first of all, if they have a role, they're going to show up. That's the first thing you need to know. If you're having trouble with attendance problems, you need to have more people with more roles, because if they have roles, they're going to show up, guaranteed. The second thing is that if you don't have a role, for a lot of people, it's really uncomfortable to be at an event. But if they have a role, even if it's cleanup and even if it's taking out the trash, as long as they have a role, they're gonna have a better experience. So it's just really, really powerful. Jesse, you just dropped all that like it's old hat. You dropped all that like I just run events this way. And, I had my team show up early and the volunteer did this and the 18-year-old did this. And it's like, you got to realize that's not how people, usually it's like Chicken Little, like the sky is falling. Where is the sky going to fall next? And I've got to go catch it. So I love how calm you were about it. And just like you were a conductor, to go back to your music training, right? You weren't singing, you weren't playing the piano, you were conducting the symphony, which is even more beautiful and has even more beautiful music. So
Yes.
I love that. Love that. So Lisa, all right. So follow-up mastery. We get finished with the event. We're not done. We're not done. And I always say the fortune's in the follow-up. And so talk to me about your follow-up and what you did after the event.
The day after, Friday the 13th, I waited until later in the day, like after 4 o'clock when I knew people were getting off of work, and I reached out and thanked I called every last person and just, hey, what you think? People are like, invite me to your next one. One was like, can you make it on a weekend? Because she was my late bird. She showed up very late, which I knew was coming again. She was coming from out of town, or not, from the other side of the city, can you do it on the weekend? So yeah, so we just kind of followed up with everybody, and couple of real estate conversations, which wasn't the reason why I was calling. But I did get a couple of real estate conversations out of that. And yeah, it's just a lot of positive feedback. Thank you so much. I had such a great time. It was great meeting so and so. Like, you've got people connecting now, and yeah, that was the basic gist of the follow-up.
Yeah, I love that. And I love what you said about the connectivity, right? You had people from this social circle meeting this person from this social circle, and they're talking. But what's great about that is we're not just connecting them. We're connecting a triangle. And the triangle is them at two corners, but us at the other corner. So it forms this triangle of trust, which is a very powerful geometric figure. And what is the first thing that they're talking about when they connect? The first thing they talk about is you. They talk about you, and that's another conversation, right? And it's one of those where what is the power? How do you measure success in real estate? A lot of times it's conversations. Whoever has the most conversations has the most conversions, who has the most contracts, who has the most closings, and so on and so forth. So, but the power of this is it's not you talking to them, they're talking to each other about you, which is great practice for referrals, because what is a referral? It's somebody talking about you to another person. So they're basically practicing referring you in front of you at your own event that we're giving them the chance to do. So love what you said about connectivity. So fortune is in the follow-up, Jesse. You already talked about what is this nuclear bomb of awesomeness concept?
So, in the follow-up system, you teach the first thing to do is to give gratitude to your helpers and those that helped. And the nuclear bomb of awesomeness is to the one person who like went above and beyond, whoever that may be. So at this event, it was Lizzie, the 18-year-old.
Yeah, what's her name? Let's shout it out. She's going to be
Li
listening to this over and
Lizzie
over again.
Trogdon. Whoop.
What's her name?
Lizzie Trogdon.
All right, Lizzie, you're on the show. Welcome to
All
Referrals
right.
Podcast. I love it. And by the way, Jesse, we have piped her in all the way from Des Moines, and no, I'm kidding. So, so tell me about Lizzie.
Yeah, so because obviously at the event, door prize sign in, sponsor, edification, follow up. Um, so Lizzie, she worked for Chick-fil-A earlier in her life, and so when we came into the event, she's like, okay, because we had the dessert sitting out on tables where people just pick whatever they wanted, and then it was like pop and water and coffee or whatever. She went around and took drink orders and then went to the kitchen so that we could, because the support staff, they only had like one waiter for the other half of the restaurant. So she really just kind of took charge with helping with getting drinks and those orders and stuff.
Yeah, love that. So here's the thing that um, everybody needs to kind of take note of is, did you hear where he said that they only had one server? Now, just imagine if it was Jesse and one server that was doing this event. How busy would Jesse and the server have been, and how much service would they have been able to give? And they wouldn't have been able to give any service. They would have been running around like Chicken Little. And instead, Jesse, how many people did you have on your team to help?
So there was three of us.
Yeah.
My the person that did the registration table, she makes personalized gifts, so she was also a sponsor. And then I have an errand runner that was there, and um, because Lizzie taking charge, Donna didn't have as much to do. Donna was more my handler. And it was such a small event. I mean, there wasn't a lot of handling going on
Yeah.
as much, as the
What's a
bigger event.
handler do typically for
Just
you, Jesse?
like just helping right there with me, like move the traffic if there's a line to talk to me or whatever with the golden tickets.
Yeah, you get somebody that dominates a conversation with you for 30 minutes at a 2 hour event, and all of a sudden, it's not as engaging. It's not right.
Yeah.
So the handler comes over, breaks apart, and allows you to connect to other people. And just she's kind of the director of connection, and she's also there to help you in case you need water, you need something to drink, you need
Yes.
whatever it may be. So love that, love that. And it's like, did 6 months ago, before you knew about event mastery, did you ever dream that you were going to need a handler at an event within 6 months?
No.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. All right. Well, so let's wrap this up, kind of tie it in a bow. And Jesse, I'll start with you is just kind of overall, overall from Event Mastery VIP edition. Like, how do you think you've changed, or what has changed for you from enrolling in these courses, but more importantly, doing the events?
Yes. So, even though I've been selling real estate 12 years, this is the first real market shift that I've personally experienced. And I realized some of my old business systems needed some changing and tweaking to continue. So I started when I found you, and your team. I started doing the inch wide, mile deep rather than the broader model that I was doing earlier. And so it's helped me get more relationship oriented. I mean, I'm a relationship oriented person. I don't always want to, I'm INFJ on the Myers-Briggs, so I don't like talk about myself. So I just like to ask good questions and I can, I do that. So it's really helped me just value and appreciate love, gratitude. Oh, sorry, the three. Love, generosity, and appreciation. Really taking the values to heart and letting that be the core of what I'm doing and where I'm coming from with people and verbalizing that and giving back to them. It is funner than other systems I was running before. So I'm feeling excited about it. I've been coaching with Tommy, who's part of your team, and I'm just super excited about enjoying the process more and even having like an event planning business eventually on the side as well. That,
Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh
uh-oh.
no, you're not gonna do, oh my God. Like that is the kiss of death for a real estate business. No event planning on the side. Everybody thinks I can do it. Now I'm just gonna do, but here, I mean, and isn't that a testament to the system, right? Is it's like, man, and here's the thing, you have an event planning system. I mean, you have an event planning company.
Yeah.
That's the truth, right? It's not your business is here and this event is inside your business. It's you have a real estate business and you also have this event business on the side that you sponsor. You're the first sponsor every time you have an event. You're
Yeah.
the brought to you by sponsor. So it's outside this entity that you call real estate anyway. So you've already got one. And the thing maybe with that is just maximize that opportunity and run down the path of that.
Hmm.
And I think here's another thing is and I don't know the answer to these questions and I don't know what your answer is going to be, but it's something that I've seen in my experience with you. What do you think others look at you differently that have attended your events? Like the people that attended Pi Day in the fall and then they attended your coffee and dessert event at Perkins this time. Like like do you think they look at you differently, or what have they learned about you in the last 6 months?
Definitely. So at the dessert event, one of the Chamber of Commerce board members came. He was the first person there. We And he was like, "Yeah, I've got some things to do. I'll probably need to leave early. Like, okay. And then everyone showed up, including three other people from the chamber, and he ended up staying for the whole thing.
Mhm.
So, and because I took networking mastery with you first back in like September, and so the VIP event was like the first time to have people from that tribe that I've been building to be at an event, and so they definitely saw me in that light where having people come, others from the chamber being there that they didn't know who were going to come. And then when my gal that makes the personal gifts delivered the most recent round, she was like, everyone loves you, Jesse. And I was like,
Say that again. They
she's
what?
like, everyone loves you, Jesse.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that, well, because I love them, because what I give is what I receive. Um, so yeah, I think, and coming more deliberately from gratitude and doing like door prizes and giving back, because part of my challenge was like doing the birthday one for the next one. It's like, I don't want people to think to bring me gifts. I want to be, so I'm like, I'm going to buy coffee for you. We're going to give to a charity. I'm going to give door prizes, even though it's my birthday, whatever.
Right. I'm not sure if there's a more fun for me personally event than my birthday because I say, in lieu of gifts for me, bring blank for charity. And that, like we filled a truck for a birthday party, filled a moving truck, like not a little
Wow.
truck, like we filled a moving truck full of, bottled water, hygienic stuff, and diapers and Pampers and all kinds of things. And what a blast. And, it was my birthday, so I can party if I want to. So,
No.
but it was, we got so much on. I'm not a very emotional guy. I'm really not, but we got so much for charity that day that like it almost brought me to tears. Like my crew freaking showed up in a big way. So man, just have a great birthday party and just say like, in lieu of gifts, bring a gift for this charity, whatever it may be. If it's pets, then bring blankets and pet food. You know, if it's homeless, it could be coats and blankets this time
Mhm.
instead of. And what a great thing for them. When's your birthday again?
May 11th.
Yeah, in May. I mean, like the coats and blankets have been used, and they're going to look in their closet and go, "I have three winter coats. I only wore one the whole time. I'm going to bring these two coats." And then we load up those shelters with the things that they really need. So I
Awesome.
absolutely love that, and I've seen the change in you, right? I've seen the change in you from the beginning where you were kind of hesitant and doubtful and like unsure a little bit, right? You were sure about your real estate knowledge, but it was more the marketing side. And I've seen you bloom as a marketer. I've seen you bloom as a conductor versus being the clarinet player or the pianist or whatever it may be. So,
Well, thank you, Michael.
yeah, absolutely. It was good to see you at Vault as well.
Yes, I love being there.
Yeah. And it worked out pretty well for you. What happened? So, what's funny is connections are everything. Yes. Like
Yes.
at the Vault, what happened?
Well, I gave referrals. I went to two of your masterminds at Family Union, gave referrals at both, and I
But
won.
but hold on a second, you were only signed up for the vault, right?
Yes.
And then what happened?
Um, well, there was someone that was coming from my market center was ill, and I had the opportunity to receive their ticket for family reunion, and I got to stay for the whole event.
And how much is it
Oh,
typically
wow.
for a ticket to family reunion?
Well, they bought early, so that was 700 something, but it can go as high as 1100.
So $800 ticket, right? So let's $1,000 in the end. You were already here. $1,000. You went to all the sessions. Then you went to another one of my masterminds, right?
Yeah.
So, and then like, but you got the entire family reunion experience just by kind of like, oh, I'm gonna stay and change my, and make it happen. So
Yeah.
it's good stuff. Well, and did you go to my breakout?
Yes, I did. And I won this wonderful action guide.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
You had a pretty good 4 or 5 days right there, Jesse. That was
I,
awesome.
I did. I'm blessed.
Awesome. All right, Lisa Velez. All right. First time through Event Mastery VIP, first time experiencing this Michael Maher dude, right? Hopefully you weren't too disappointed with that part of it. But like talk to me about what this has done for you over the 7 or 8 weeks that before you did the event and after you did the event, and kind of maybe the experience of other people, how they're experiencing you differently?
I feel like that's such a loaded question. But I would say that it's changed me in a way. Let me backtrack. I've never considered all the different segments of my life. I never tried to put them together, but those segments of my life actually make me the whole person that I am. And I never realized that bringing all these people together was not just it's not wasn't just for the event. It really was almost kind of a gonna sound selfish, but it was they were there for me,
That's right.
and it was and with that, it was just great to be surrounded by so much, encouragement and positivity and people that want to see you do good things, That's besides the point. I don't think being such and I don't have 12 years of real estate, I've got 6 months. And I don't think I realized how much of a people business it actually is. And Michael, the great thing is I love people. Like I really do love people. So it's like I am really kind of just really just I'm riding the high. I'm grateful to have taken this class. I'm grateful to have pulled the trigger and not just listened to what you were doing, but actually put the steps in place. And I'm excited to see what happens in the future with events. So never considered, even though I am a very social person, I never considered myself like the one that plans things, that just show up for things. So it's fun to see myself in that different light.
Yeah.
For the record, my birthday is next Tuesday, and man, I should have done what you guys were talking about.
It makes you think differently about things, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And and I think you bring and Lisa, like Event Mastery VIP is like for people like you, right? We love people, and
mhm.
you are a person that's going to go to things. But I'm just gonna like flash forward ahead to what I'm gonna help you avoid is there becomes an enormous frustration to go to these PTA, church, Navy, like workout, aquarium people, like divers, pet lovers. Like you have all these social circles, and it gets frustrating that like you can't really talk to real estate with them. Or if it is, it's a superficial, quick conversation where they go, "Well, how's the market? How's real estate?" And they really don't care. They really don't
Right,
care. They're just trying to say something nice. Versus now you're going to invite and attract people from those social circles, and you're going to find out who really is there for you. If they show up for the event, they're showing up for you. They really are. And that's only going to and now you can attend all these other events and relax a little bit instead of saying, man, I got to wear my name badge every time. I've got to talk about real estate every time. It's just, you can be human. So, and guess what? By you being human in those groups, you become more attractive and more referable, which leads to more people attending your events. And that's where they find out how organized you are, how planned you are, I mean, whoever hosts the event, there is a bubble of light around them just automatically because of the whole process. So I love it. I love both of you. I mean, and here you are, Lisa. You're on freaking Referrals podcast, like
yeah,
you know,
I am.
and and there's people that like would, I think, chop off a finger just to get on Referrals podcast. And but it's like, how do you get on Referrals podcast? Implement. Trust the system, trust yourself, keep moving forward and implement and do it. And then we'll share your story on Referrals Podcast. So, Lisa, I just want to say thank you so much for being on. Thank you for implementing. I am so excited about your future in this beautiful business.
This will be next to me for the next event that's coming up in June. Haven't figured out what it is yet, but I'm definitely looking at it step by step. It was an easy follow through plan. So much appreciated for the material that you provided. Much,
Awesome. Lisa
very
Velez
much
from
appreciated.
Tampa Real Estate by lisav.com. Check her out. Really appreciate that. And Jesse Kern out of Des Moines, Iowa. Man, the growth, what I'm seeing, I'm just really, really excited about your future as well. And all right, so what would you tell somebody who's thinking about taking event mastery?
Do it now.
Do it now. I've heard that somewhere
Yeah,
before.
me too.
look that up somewhere. Like, where have I heard that? That's a good quote. Yep. Do it now is a pretty, I mean, and it is so funny how often I ask that question. And a lot of times I already know what they're going to say, right? Just do it now, do it now. So I appreciate that. And Jesse, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being our guest here on
My
Referrals
pleasure. Thank you.
Podcast today.
Definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, Referrals Podcast episode 434. You tell me, a coach, a trainer, a program, an academy that has over 430 testimonials of what they teach. Not, most of these podcasts out there, and yes, I'm getting on my wagon right now. These people fire me up. Like Lisa and Jesse has fired me up today because it's proof. It's proof. Most podcasts are some trainer talking to some other trainer and they're talking about their strategies or whatever, but where's the proof? Where is the proof? Right? Or they don't have a podcast at all because they don't want to know there's no proof. Right? I always want to ask these trainers, well, who's a client who's had success with your program? And yet I know the answer in a lot of cases. And what I love about what we're doing here at Referral Mastery Academy is we have 430 plus proven examples, case studies from newer in the business to a 12-year veteran to people that have been in the business almost forever. And we'd love to have you in Referral Mastery Academy. Check it out at Referral Mastery Academy. Check it out. And also, if you haven't joined our referral community on Facebook, you need to do it. It's free to join. JoinGenGen.com. Join, JoinGenGen.com. There's that alliteration that Jesse talked about earlier. We'd love to have you in, and we appreciate you. And we will see you next time on the next episode of Referrals Podcast.